All right, guys, we're about to start gillyShark versus Stitches Be Crazy. I hope you're all excited. I did give a little teaser about how I felt this would be a good series due to how close both teams actually are in the standings, or well, I guess in wins, and the the standings are very tight in Division B East, which is I feel a nice breath of fresh air. A lot of the divisions have kind of like this middle pack, which are very close. Then you have the top outlier and the bottom outliers. In this case, it seems like Division B East overall is one of the closest divisions all around. I'm getting both these teams in here. And to give you a little sneak peek on what we're going to have, let's see, we're going to be playing on Cursed Hollow as the very first one tonight. And Cursed Hollow, I really like because of how much map pressure you can bring, especially when you have appropriate macro. It's a real hard map to properly learn how to play and how to rotate, especially if you're lacking certain tools on your team. So I'm very eager to see what we have in store from gillyShark because it was indeed their choice. Is right. Just need to get Team Stitches Be Crazy in here, and then we'll be ready for the races. Hopefully, everyone's been having a good evening so far. I know it's been about an hour delay when it's all been said and done, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to actually get to cast this. I had a special treat. Had a bubble tea. Unfortunately, I'm all out of the bubble tea. I do still have some of the tapioca pearls on the bottom still, but tapioca pearls are not going to compare to gillyShark versus Stitches Be Crazy. Make sure you tell everyone that it is actually happening. All right, we're going to kick things off then in a few seconds. Now, like I was saying, one of the key things here for Cursed Hollow is being cognizant about your draft strategy in order to execute your macro strategy. But let's change this background. The blur background. The blur background isn't very blurry, but whatever. So, whoa, what happened to my bricks? What happened to my bricks? I wanted the bricks. All right, bricks disappeared. There we go. We got something else. So, all right. So it's really important to actually have a strategy coming into here, how you want to draft. And we're going to go and see how they're planning to draft as is right now on gillyShark versus Stitches Be Crazy. So we're going to see the Phoenix band out. Phoenix is definitely a solid band. I feel like what's happened is that Phoenix gets through because his priority in banning is non-existent at this point. in comparison to many other choices that are available. You have Samuro and Avatar banned out. This is a very spicy combination, especially if you get both of them. I've seen this played in two separate occasions, and it's very, very hard to deal with, especially if you have a Samuro player who is excellent. Now, if you don't have someone who's quite on point, like in a lower division, it's a little bit harder to get value out of Samuro. Abathur and Samuro, though, it's insane value because Samuro can get healed up from the Abathur. Abathur can keep pushing and helping Samuro push. Samuro can then travel the map by his illusions, and then he can backdoor you, and you can double Abathur, or sorry, you can clone the Samuro, have 6 illusions on the core, and just think about that: 6 illusions on the core. I've termed it 6 illusions on the core. So Johanna, Dahaka. This is a very, very early pickup on the Johanna, I feel. Now, not that I think Johanna is weak. I literally just played the Johanna. I mean, Johanna is a very good tank overall. Dahaka, definitely on point, especially in the macro strategy you might want to execute on Cursed Hollow. On the other side, you have Deckard, Hanzo, and Muradin. Muradin is definitely a solid pickup if you can't get Diallo. And if you're trying to play not for the picks, so a Garage, for instance, Muradin has engage, he has disengage. Garage is a hero where you're trying to pick someone off. Johanna dissuades you from opting into that sort of strategy because she can pop her iron skin and walk away. Now, the Hanzo is also a macro strategy here, largely because he does offer the ability to control bosses with the appropriate talent build. If you saw the game I just played, Hanzo went the completely wrong talent build. Dragon Beam, Arrow, Dragon Strike being the Dragon Beam. He went on 1 and 4, sorry, 1 and 7 the wrong talents, and on Cursed Hollow you always go for the minion damage, boss damage, merc damage. There's a slew of mercenary camps to pick up. There's 2 bosses to pick up, so this is one of his strongest maps if you play it correctly. Now the Jaina and Blaze, Muradin, Deckard, that's a lot of CC. You throw the hammer, get the jet propulsion, and you follow up with the scroll of scroll of sealing identifies the talent, and you've locked him down for a very long time. And then if you get Ring of Frost, you've locked him down even longer. So the last pick is actually going to be a Zarya. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're likely to go in cheese. You don't play Zarya without cheesing. And if you ain't cheesing with a Zarya, you ain't living. I feel Zarya is highly mediocre. She needs to be played in a very, very specific comp. Now, based on these 2 drafts, I'm actually going to say Stitches Be Crazy has the better draft to me. Not that I feel it depends on what they're planning to do to execute with the Zarya. Zarya, to me, is never a solid choice. In most cases. Don't know why I didn't switch. Switch screen. All right, switch at the wrong time because we're about to jump into the game. So let's introduce these 2 teams. We got Koenig on the Dahaka. We're going to have a Jinxie Cat on the Johanna for the Horde. And we got Stark on the Zarya. Kim Tripson on the Alex Straza. And Kagakiri on the Li Ming. And that is going to be gillyShark. On the other side, we have a Bellalos on the Muradin. GZB57 on the Blaze. Cheese on the Hanzo. We got Tekio on These new mounts make it impossible. Oh, sorry. Cheese is on the Jaina, and Tekio is going to be the Decker Kane. And finally, we have Maxzilla on the Hanzo. That's going to be Stitches Be Crazy. Unfortunately, not playing their namesake here, this is actually a pretty good map for him. But we're going to kick things off. We're going to have Jaina in the top lane, Blaze in the bot lane, and we're not actually going to see any sort of cheese strategy here. It's kind of disappointing to me because I don't feel it's very effective necessarily. You have to be an excellent Zarya, along with excellent usage of your shields for your teammates to make the Zarya pick work. Now, we're going to see the Live and Let Live of the Power Hungry, a Demolitions Expert, Tissue Regen, Laws of Hope, Third Wind, Fingers of Frost, Simple Geometry, a Scroll of Identify, and Neural Impact. So, I was actually just asked today by the team that I coach/analyst work for my alma mater. I was asked, when do you take Scroll of Identify and when do you take Sapphire? The answer is, don't ever pick Scroll of Identify. That seems a little harsh to say, but it's the safest thing. Don't ever pick it. The reason you should almost never pick Scroll of Identify is because if you use your scroll on cooldown to try and complete your quest, that's potentially kill opportunities that are lost while you're trying to complete a quest. Additionally, the extra slow from Sapphire pretty much guarantees you get them in your scroll and lock them down if they have no mobility. So it's a double thing here. You can lock them down really easy into your root thanks to Sapphire, and you're burning mana and wasting an ability just to be able to complete a quest that, although highly effective, means that you're losing out on a bunch of other things. So very nice job on the side of Stitches Be Crazy. They're going for that macro control. We're going to see the full serrated arrow scatter arrow build. So they pick up that siege camp. They're getting the pressure down here. Unfortunately, RNG is not on their side. So most of the time I'm critical about picking up siege giants this early. When you pick them up this early, it just means they can clear them out. However, on the side of Stitches Be Crazy, they've done the optimal alternative. The optimal alternative is pick them up as soon as possible and push with it before the full 5-man rotates to deal with the tribute. Because if you go and deal with you get the siege significantly earlier, then all of a sudden it's a 1v1 and you can get much more value. Jeezy Cat coming on in. Tekio is going to eat that Condemned. Koenig very far back and taking a brunt of damage with GZB coming on in with that jet propulsion. The dragon is out and they're looking to take this tribute, and getting that control with the dragon is really going to make him a walk on back. GZB a walking on forward, but Koenig is going to actually be interrupted by Belalos. There's the pull on back. The root, there's the follow-up jet propulsion, but it is on Jinxie Cat, which means basically the tankiest person there is taking all of the cooldowns and the brunt of damage. GZB getting low, Belalos trying to get that third win proc, and Chemotripsin is also getting pretty low. Belalos will be able to hop on out, and they're going to have to give up the first tribute altogether. But look at the value they've had out of this camp. They cleared the midnight camp, and they've almost gotten the front wall in part thanks to this. So this is I actually feel it's a win for Stitches Be Crazy. It's the first tribute, and some teams will actually give it up. So the XP lead is actually in favor of gillyShark. This is not anything major. The nice hammer coming out from Belalos, locking down Stark under there for a little bit there. Nothing too crazy. Sevens will now be picked up, and well, Jinxie Cat and Kagekiri are in the bot lane, along with Maxzilla. This is a very odd rotation here. Maxzilla is not necessarily the best person to be in a solo lane. Jaina is better at securing kills in a 3-man rotation, but she's also better at wave clear. It's a little bit of give and take here, if you will. Of course, like Jinxie Cat really should have nothing to fear. At this point, we're going to take a look at what we have. Ooh, this is a very cheeky rotation too that came out. They knew where everyone was. They had no tank to actually collapse in here. And because of their choice to have Jinxie Cat in the bot lane, there's nothing that gillyShark can actually do to stop this. And that's one of the problems if you do something like gillyShark did, which is Johanna is great wave clear, but you're putting your great wave clear away from the rest of your team. And especially on a large map like this makes it very hard. Coney coming on in the back, the jet propulsion going to stop that tongue. And he said, no, man, that is not allowed in these parts. We got the stun coming on back onto Jinxie Cat, Iron Skin, and not quite available. Oh, the beautiful stun from GZB with 3-man stun. The scroll is going to lock down 1. They pick up a 1, 2, and they're looking for 3, but they're going to have to settle for just those first 2 kills. So Stitches Be Crazy, able to survive the initial attack from Koenig on the backside, and then taking a bunch of damage, but Cheese a drop in it alongside of the rest of Stitches Be Crazy, and now they're looking to pick up the first boss. This is where Stitches Be Crazy comp is, I feel, stronger. They can get the bosses off of a kill very, very easily. And taking a look at what we have Simple Geometry completed, Fingers of Frost almost done here. Taking a look at the rest, Demolition Expert a little bit halfway through, but gillyShark taken this boss as well. However, they are much later, and they're delaying getting level 10s. And at this point, a level 10 is significantly closer for Stitches Be Crazy. If Stitches Be Crazy can just delay this, they're going to get insane value out of this boss. And if they can get the 10s before this tribute, then gillyShark has to, well, let's step back. gillyShark has already surrendered this tribute, and when they see them in mid, they can just start clearing this boss for free. Unfortunately, it looks like the Blizzard, I'm not sure if the Blizzard actually overlapped onto the boss or not. It was very hard to tell. Sometimes the hitboxes are a little off center, but they're going to take this down real easy and they pick up that second tribute. So Stitches Be Crazy getting themselves a structure advantage. They hit 10, but they aren't able to really flex with that 10 advantage because of the nice rotation here from gillyShark. GZB going to come on in, but not going to really be able to do too much here. They do take down the front wall, and they pretty much even it up. They get a little bit ahead here. They're about to take down all of the towers in the meantime. So gillyShark with a very good choice here on what to do. When you can't go... Ooh, Koenig, though, going to have to burrow on down. Now going to be locked in place by that scroll, but the rest of gillyShark coming on in. The Cleansing Flame will come out, and the Expulsion Zone, but there's nothing they can do because Atekio is going to make them stay a while and listen. There's the Blessed Shield, the Orb coming on out as well, but they are not going to be able to secure any kills in retaliation for taking Barney and ruining the lives of children everywhere. So this third tribute is really big. You get it, you get the curse, and then there's a lot of momentum that can be had from this. You can get mid, you can get bot, you might even start walking on in to try and get some structure damage. Now, they do have everyone pretty much available. Dahaka will be able to come on in as well and help almost immediately. And Jinxie Cat coming in from the rear, getting a little cheeky there. We do have the arrows making life a living hell, as pretty much it will hit you. As you can see, there's a very good chance one of those arrows will hit you. They just need a juke and jive around Li Ming's damage, and if they can avoid Kagekiri, there's pretty much no DPS on the side of gillyShark. You can see this is actually very nicely done from gillyShark, though. They have Koenig sitting up there, and really, Stitches Be Crazy needs to push the issue as much as they can. Koenig coming on in now, will actually get juked by Tekio, and the bunker has been dropped, but the scroll is going to lock him down. Stay a while and listen into the Ring of Frost, and they are taking down Li Ming. Kagekiri's gone now. Bellos is getting pretty low, but the Blizzard is doing work as well. The root on top of that. Jinxie's getting low. Koenig is going to be able to tap, though. Cheese is still up, just managing to survive the onslaught of the Cleansing Flame. This is still a 5v4 situation without the dragon now, but there's a grab onto Tekio. GZB coming on in with the jet propulsion to save the old man, and GZB will be able to keep them interrupted for now as well. Bello scanning low. The expulsion zone is actually going to expel Jaina to the afterlife, and they are now actually taking back this tribute in the name of gillyShark, despite having lost the first member in that engagement. So gillyShark definitely taking the reins back here. They were a little behind. They lost Kagekiri, which is the majority of their damage, but they weren't able to be topped on off by old man Decker Kane there. And without being able to be topped off, they couldn't really fight. Additionally, they didn't actually go back, I felt like, and tapped. Well, they actually have no tap available. Let me correct myself. On the other side, they did have taps available. That shows you the value of the taps, or the wells. If you don't have taps available for your fight, then all of a sudden you're probably going to lose the fight, even if it was in your favor. Enemy team taps up, fight to 5v4, they have full life, you're all at half life, and bam, they walk away looking pretty. Now, I'd actually like the timing on Stitches Be Crazy much more. You can see Bellolos going straight to the jugular, trying to take out the camp or the knight that actually will give the spell armor, which then means Jaina can come on in, drop it, and clear it pretty immediately. Oh no, Tekio is in a very awkward spot, but Bellolos is down below. JC's going to get sped on up. There's the condemn. Tekio should have the scroll, and that forces out the Iron Skin simultaneously. Bellolos now coming on in. The expulsion zone being used. The Dragon's Arrow going to connect only with one. The Ring of Frost, and there comes the curse, but it looks like they might actually pick themselves up 2 kills here. GZB coming in with the jet propulsion once again. They are not taking anyone down. Koenig grabbing the Blaze, pulling him on back to his team. Stay a while and listen is not going to be good enough because the old man has been put in hospice care, and, well, he's been taken out by an explosive grenade from Zarya. So this was a situation that worked out very well for gillyShark. Clearly, they get the curse, they get themselves 2 kills. It looked like they were actually going to lose Jinxie during that hand Stark, but then Chimotripsin comes on in with the heals, keeping them all topped off and dishing out the damage simultaneously. The bunker came out fairly early there, unfortunately not getting much value for the team overall. So GZB is playing a great Blaze overall. He just needed to hold that bunker, I think, a little bit longer. So they have boss control, like I mentioned. Boss control basically means that they can do this regardless of the situation. They have Hanzo here, he has all his arrows, and look how fast they take the boss. Boss picked up. They still have yet to complete the boss in the bot lane, and which means if they want to, they can be very cheeky and run across and get as much as possible. In fact, that's what they're going to do. They're going to run to pick up the siege camp. Oh, Dahak is going to be coming on in, and Koenig will see this, and they are all rotating in. Scroll is going to be used there, and they are trapped between a rock and a hard place. And we got the cleansing flame. Stay a while and listen, going to be interrupted. And Decker Kane going to be the first casualty. The arrow, though, from Maxzilla is going to be able to delay him from engaging any further, which means that they can now go into Fang against the boss. The rotation there was definitely on point from gillyShark. They had Koenig spotted out. They assumed that Stitches Be Crazy was nowhere on the map, and what's the most valuable thing for them to get? They just got the boss. Well, the siege camp, they can run across and get that real fast, and you can see, boss didn't even completely take down the tower. On the other side, though, he has managed to take down both towers, which means another boss in the bot lane could begin. Oh, and they're looking for it from gillyShark. This is absolutely perfect. They don't get the siege on, but it's a 16 versus 15 fight. Thankfully for the side of Stitches Be Crazy, they do. Oh, the Blessed Show coming on out. There's the bunker to actually block all the damage. So 16 versus 15. Stitches Be Crazy manages to make it out of there. and they need to get 16 before they try and fight. This is actually rather easy because the tribute's already been gotten by the side of gillyShark. At this point, gillyShark has very little to do on the map. Bosses have been taken. Knight's the only thing remaining. Bruisers are up 3 seconds over here. And 16s are then going to be picked up pretty quickly on the side of Stitches Be Crazy. Now, this rotation from gillyShark, very good. It's also very aggressive because they know in general that they're probably soaking the bot lane. Because look at where this wave is. They'd have to be very far forward, and it's also very dangerous. But they're now able to push in the mid lane, and you can see this siege. They're taking down these towers like it's nothing. At the same time, they needed to get 16. I wish they would have actually just backed after 16 because they've lost their entire front wall in part due to getting what I feel is a little greedy. You got your 16, you're trading fort for front wall. I don't think that's a good trade, in my opinion. If you want to force it, though, for the Bruiser camp, it's definitely feasible. We have Stitches Be Crazy actually hovering around. Jinxie is going to spot this out, and Bellolos is looking to get on in there before they can do much of anything. They have to be careful of the expulsion zone, though, which will part them like the Red Sea at that point. We got Bellolos all alone on an island here. Expulsion zone coming on out. The Ring of Frost, though, going to hit 4. And stay a while and listen. Followed up by the beautiful jet propulsion. And one member is down. Jinxie is down. Stark is being chased on down right now. Tekio is going to lock her in there in that scroll. But Mac is going to finish off Stark. And so they wind up walking away with the trade. 2-0. This is huge for Stitches Be Crazy. So that was very aggressive. Bellolos almost looked like he was about to get blown up there. He managed to survive. They managed to get the kills. And because they lost Jinxie so quickly, they basically lost that team fight almost immediately. There's no peels. Blessed Shield was not used. Well, I believe it was actually. Sorry. It probably just came off cooldown, as did the Expulsion Zone. But this wave down here, getting them so much value. They had this already pushed up. The siege will help delay the push in top. The mid is going to be, however, take a little while to go down here. But this is now a 5v5. A bunch of heroics are down. There comes the Blessed Shield. There's the pull onto GZB. The Dragon's Arrow coming on out. And Koenig is getting melted. But in the meantime, GZB as well. Tekio will be able to dissuade him from coming on in by telling them a little bedtime story. And, well, that bedtime story scared him enough to stay there. The good news is that Keep is still standing. Mid Fort is still standing. The race for 20 is still in gillyShark's hands. Stitches Be Crazy, well, they're not quite there in the race. Structure-wise, they're still behind, despite getting that tribute. They didn't get a whole lot of value overall. They could go and fight for the boss. They're going to actually just opt for their boss, which is a bad trade here. You are losing the race to 20. You're on an equal talent tier, and you can be almost certain where they are. You see no one on the map right now. The only thing you know is that they're somewhere in hidden. And what's the most likely place for them to be hidden? Their boss. And then they go and push with their boss to get a keep, which is fully exposed. On the other side, their keep is not fully exposed. So taking a quick look at what we had here for talents. Nothing too out of the ordinary overall. For the most part, everything looks pretty on point. We have the Roar as the choice here. Anything else? And that's it overall. So it's Roar and Blessed Hammer are the two main choices overall. Now we got the Spell Barrier as well. This is a great choice for Zarya. And let's see if we can get the actual shielding numbers from Zarya. We won't be able to see that here. We can take a look. Zarya with 50,000 damage shielded. So Stark plays an insane Zarya. You can compare 50,000, 68,000, 63,000. So they're basically getting twice the healing output. Additionally, Stark is at 38,000 damage. He's actually dealing more damage than Kagekiri on Li Ming. And on the flip side, look at how much DPS they're doing to try to counter all that additional shielding. So 20s have arrived, and 20s have not for Stitches Be Crazy. So at this point, they're just kind of having to go hit 20, back on off, and give them the tribute, which is a very unfortunate situation as the next tribute is very, very important. I mean, next tribute then means curse, and next curse could mean multiple keeps. So we have on Ruby Wings, Talrash's Elements, Grenadier, Contagion, and finally Indestructible. So what are Stitches Be Crazy doing? They're just going to sit and wait for them to rotate. They know exactly where the next tribute is, so they're going to just do a good old-fashioned bush gank. There's nothing to gain by trying to rotate and clear. Except for this night camp, there's very little to do on the map. You don't need to get 20, you've already reached it, which means the level advantage, although helpful, is going to be very minimal overall in impact. Now, Stitches Be Crazy gave up their position in part because they were working on the mercenaries. Jinxie will spot them out at this point, and Stark now can pump out significantly more damage thanks to the 20 choice. So we got potions galore. Let's see, we also have the bottomless flask, which means that the team can continue having healers despite Dragon Arrow coming on in the expulsion zone as well. There comes the Ring of Frost. They will get themselves another double stun there. Bellos chasing on in. Koenig will have the healing. The Blizzard, though, on top of him. And Barney's been brought back to the Ice Age. So at this point, Bellos, looking for another kill, will not actually land that hammer. And they walk away with a very critical kill here on the side of Stitches Be Crazy. Things are very even. I mean, this sounds crazy to be like, oh, they just got a kill and game's even. Well, it is because the lanes are not pushed up far enough to take advantage of it. Next objective is spawning in 30 seconds. Koenig can burrow on in additionally, but they're trying to take this a 4v4 without Jaina. This is actually crazy. I think this is a terrible mistake by Stitches Be Crazy without having her there. Okay, they're going to be healed up for the most part. They do have the potions starting to get tossed on down. Tekio dropping his bottomless flask, which makes it very easy to, well, keep his team permanently healed up. So everyone is standing, and Koenig can burrow on in at any given point now. So Koenig is coming on in hot. We'll be looking for the big contagion. There's a scroll, and not going to be doing too much, except there's a Ring of Frost follow-up. Tekio is going to tell him to listen to him, but the bunker will drop simultaneously, and the Blizzard on top of 3 members, not going to matter. Cheese is going to be taken on out, getting a little moldy there, and the only person left standing is Maxzilla. Son of Godzilla is not going to be good enough to take down 5 members of gillyShark, and gillyShark is going to walk away with game number 1 after a big roller coaster between winning and losing teamfights by both sides. All right, instant replay needs to be has been primed, but Maxzilla trying what he can here, not going to be able to get much done because it's a 5v1, and a valiant effort from Stitches Be Crazy in that engagement without Jaina, I think did hurt them overall. They didn't take the position they had their backline collapse on rather quickly and then torn apart. So we're going to take a look at the stats as well, and we're going to see Hanzo hitting those siege damage numbers with 110. Li Ming actually coming very close as well, along with Zarya, Blaze, and Dahaka. Pretty close group in there. In terms of total DPS, Stitches Be Crazy just got insane amount of damage dumped onto the heads of gillyShark. Unfortunately for them, that damage was pumping up Zarya because Zarya was number one DPS on the side of gillyShark. Almost 60,000 damage. That is over, well, it's about 50% more damage than Li Ming put out that game, which is insane to say the least. And even Johanna dishing out quite a bit of damage there when it was all said and done. Now, total healing output. Chimotripsin definitely have an edge here. Not a gigantic edge, but enough of an edge. You also get the whole, well, Tekio died 3 times, which means less healing output. So that definitely affected the numbers at the end of everything. And then finally for tanking, Jinxie Cat and Koenig tanked out of their minds. 92,000, 90,000. I mean, that's a good 10,000 more than Bellalos's Murden. Additionally, GZB was just not keeping up with the rest of the tanks there, or the warriors, in terms of total tanking done. Even Zarya doing roughly 11,000 more in total damage soaked. But this was definitely a roller coaster. The execution on gillyShark worked out for him because Stark's Zarya was super on point. The expulsion zones, the shielding, and then, as you can see, all the damage that they did. Stitches Be Crazy just didn't have the damage when they needed it, and were actually pumping up Zarya's damage significantly, ultimately leading to their own demise, if you will, by trying to kill gillyShark. We'll be right back. We're going to hop on over to the replays, and so I've tweaked the numbers. The replays run a little longer, but hopefully they're a little bit better too and capture more of the essence of the fight.